So imagine, you just got off of work. You just received the best news of your life. You got promoted. Or maybe you got a title change. Or possibly you just got the opportunity to speak on something you've been working on for a very, very long time. You rush home. You want to tell your significant other or a family member or even one of your closest friends. But you notice that they're not really listening. Their body language is off. They're not giving you the eye contact you deserve. And they aren't really asking questions that invoke further conversation. You are immediately hurt. While you can't force someone to care, active listening would help them show that they actually care about you rather than like what you're actually talking about. Active listening is something that everyone should practice, not only to keep yourself engaged in relationships, but also to show the people you love you care about them. First, we're going to go over what active listening is. Then I'm going to show you its benefits, like how it shows you care, conflict resolution and communication skills, and the empathy and trust that comes with it. But before we adopt these into our habits, what even is active listening? Well, according to Koenig in 7 Active Listening Techniques for Better Communication, written on November of 2025, active listening is a communication skill that goes simply beyond hearing words, involving active processing and seeking to understand meaning and intent behind them. So, in active listening, there are 2 different aspects that you need to use. You need to use body language and you need to use your responses, according to How to Practice Active Listening, written in July of 2025. When we use our body language, we're going to give eye contact and show body language that reflects interest, like turning yourself towards the speaker and putting down distractions. And also, we're going to nod our head as we speak, or as they speak, so that we can show that we're actually listening to what they say. With our responses, we want to try not to interrupt while they're talking. But when it is our turn to speak, we should ask questions that invoke further conversation and show our interest, as well as rephrase what they just said to show we're actually paying attention and that we know what they're talking about. So now that we know what active listening is and how to use it, why should we do it in relationships? What are the benefits? Well, the first benefit is showing others you care about them and that they're worth listening to. So, according to Koenig from our first citation, 7 Active Listening Techniques for Better Communication, you want to make sure the conversation is all about them and not about you. What this does is show that a conversation can be all about them and that that's okay, and it proves that you have the capacity to involve yourself in speech that revolves around them and makes you selfless, showing you care through the way you listen. It also opens the floor for them to speak carelessly and without judgment, or the idea that they're going to get misunderstood. So, why do we want to show those we love we care through active listening? Well, one of the reasons why we want to show them we care is because it helps with conflict resolution and communication in the relationship. When we know how our significant other feels, or our close family member feels, we're able to help them further with resolving conflicts in the relationship. It shows that you understand in a physical way. Although you could just calmly watch them, listen to them, and not ask further questions, maybe they don't understand that you're listening. So when you active listen, you show that you're interested in knowing more and proving that you understand. According to Chainstein in December 2023, repeating things back to the speaker worded differently is a good way to make sure you understand. She says this in her article, Using Active Listening Skills to Deal with Conflict. This is good for healthy conflict resolution. And trying to understand other perspectives is another good conflict resolution skill. Greenberg, in October of 2024, in his article, The Importance of Communication and Active/Empathetic Listening in Relationships, says, integrating empathy and questions helps de-escalate negative emotions, which is very, very important in conflict resolution and communicating with those you love. So we're good at conflict resolution. We're good at communicating. What else is active listening good for in a relationship? I'll tell you. It's good for empathy and trust building. When we trust those that we love, we actively listen and we show that we care so deeply. In Viezer's article, Active Listening, Definition, Skills, and Benefits, written in December of 2023, they say, sometimes we become so entrenched with our own beliefs that it's so difficult to see other people's perspectives. Well, empathy and trust is all about understanding different perspectives, putting ourselves into others' shoes. As Sutton wrote in July of 2016, active listening, in his article, Active Listening, The Art of Empathetic Conversation, he says that empathetic listening shows understanding, encouraging the speaker to share more by validating them without judgment. Empathetic listening is basically repeating or paraphrasing just the emotions when you're talking to somebody. And this helps us understand and feel for those we're talking to and builds trust in the relationship through active listening. So let's review what we talked about. We talked about what active listening is, which lies in body language and the way we respond to things. For review, the benefits are showing your significant other or family member you care, conflict resolution and communication, and trust and empathy. Everybody should be using active listening in their everyday speech. Next time you're talking to somebody you care about or love, try using active listening so that you can show them you care. Thank you for listening.